What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be getting the lights working on that thing, redoing the panels, hooking up a kill switch on that, and basically anything else that I don't like about it. Then we're going to do some ripping. After my butt stops throbbing. Alright, so this is all the stuff we're going to need to rewire some of the paneling for the mini bike. Basically, all I've wanted to do since the creation of it was be able to remove the panel and work on it easily. So what I'm going to do is make it modular by installing these. And then not only that, but we're going to get the lights working by installing this 20 amp racing switch. And here's all the stuff we're going to need to do it. Heat shrink wrap, soldering iron, multimeter, more heat shrink wrap, zip ties. Mini bike's also missing a choke lever. And I forgot to mention, you're definitely going to want to get a good pair of wire strippers for this. Alright, so we've got all the bolts securing the panel down off. Now we just got to cut a few wires. Alright, let me explain what some of these are. So these are the wires to the lights. These are the kill switch wires. And then I will try and get a good view of them. These wires that run down here are right from the battery. And then we would just have to replace that switch and make it look a little bit less messy. Snip. Do not cut these two wires at the same time. It'll cause the battery to short. I made the mistake of doing that a little while ago. It didn't end well. While we wait for the soldering iron to heat up, let's start breaking her down. Can we not? There we go. Now that we have the battery removed, we can start replacing the light switch. Yes, I know that is an ugly hole. I don't have a step drill bit that's big enough, so I apologize. Alright, so it's been about 9 hours of me struggling with this thing, but I finally got it on. Let's start the actual wiring. Alright, so we've gotten the lighting wires connected. Now for the super satisfying part, we're going to take a little bit of this magical stuff, also known as heat shrink wrap, and I'll get a slow-mo of it doing its thing. I'm gonna challenge y'all. Just try and find one singular thing that is more satisfying than working with heat shrink wrap on wiring. It's amazing. It's a religious experience. Alright, everything's soldered for the most part. Now let's just throw this baby on. One of the most annoying things about wiring is keeping track of everything. Now, this is somewhat fixable with a little bit of painter's tape and a Sharpie. Although with this, we're probably not going to need it. However, with this 125cc wiring harness, we definitely will. Alright, we're almost ready to put this thing on. We got our kill switch wires grouped, and then we got our 12-volt leads grouped. We're almost ready. Alright, everything's hooked up on the panel, tested it with the multimeter, everything's running well. Kinda happy. Usually when I do wiring, stuff goes wrong and I have to take everything apart. So, let me explain the circuits we just worked on really quick. So you have the basic lighting circuit, pretty simple. You have your battery, lines from the battery to the lights. Obviously I'm not a great artist, but just go with it, alright? So in order to turn the circuit off, we have a switch right here. Pretty simple, right? Now, the engine kill switch circuit is a little bit more complicated because you have to realize that electricity will always take the path of least resistance. Now, pretty much you have your coils, which are your power source. You have a wire that goes to a ground. And then you have your wires that go to a spark plug. Now, there's always a lot of resistance within spark plugs, so ohms will always be much higher than the ground. And since electricity takes the path of least resistance, if you complete this connection, it'll go to the engine ground and there will be no spark, effectively killing the engine. To clarify some stuff really quick, ohms is the measure of resistance within a circuit, and the ground is actually the engine block. So the ground on the go-kart, even though the kill switch isn't hooked up, is right here, and the one on the mini bike is right in there. Now all we've got to do is hook this thing up to right here and right here. I don't know how much of that you guys saw since my camera was facing the ground the entire time. Guess I gotta put more tape on it next time. But we've got the connection for the engine done, and now we just gotta put the panel back in and see if it works. She starts, but apparently doesn't stop. I fiddled around with the actual switch itself, and there was a connection broken, but I went in there and soldered it all up, so let's test her out. Yes, sir. I got the garage as dark as I could get it. The only thing that's on is the soldering iron. It's a moment of truth. Oh. In the words of Jeremy Clarkson, it's like they stuffed a collapsed sun in there. So the drag mini bike is almost done. Now I just need a seat that doesn't break my back. However, this has a few more issues. Let's hook up the go-kart kill switch. We just gotta connect this to this, and this to this. Pretty straightforward. Quality. One last one. Kill switch is completed, but she has a pretty bad fuel leak. In order to get to the fuel line, first we gotta remove the flywheel cover. Alright, most of it is drained. Go. Old fuel line out. In with the new. She's on pretty well. Unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to cut it off here. I'm waiting for a few parts in the mail. Brake line, a couple air filters, a new jet for the go-kart so that it'll actually run well, and we can put the nice exhaust on it, because the RLV muffler, oh, gorgeous. In the meantime, make more riding videos, whatever other content you guys want, but there isn't gonna be a lot of construction or working on them, at least until these new parts come in. So, peace. Alright, now all we gotta do is throw that one on the bike. Why won't it focus?